When you are dealing with someone that acts like they deserve a fresh start after hurting or betraying you, disrespecting you, or abusing you, and they're not willing to put forth the effort to show you that they're a changed person and that they want to go through the process of whatever it takes while you heal from that pain that they caused, they just want a fresh start. They want you to stop bringing it up. That is a big red flag. This means only one thing, that they just want access to you for their own satisfaction. I've been there. Story time. I tried to prove that I was worthy of being treated fairly and with love instead of being treated like my partner's sneaky enemy. I thought that once I proved that I wasn't who they thought I was and that they needed to protect themselves from, that I'd get the love that they promised. Because I was attracted to his business mindset, his appearance, his confidence, what he expressed his ideas of family and loyalty was. The only thing I thought was our biggest hurdle was his trust issues. And since I knew I wasn't trying to play him, I thought if I proved that I was all that I said I was, I'd get all that I had admired in him. But the more I did to prove who I was, the more I lost me. I compromised my morals, values, and boundaries, thinking that we'd be different. We wouldn't be a statistic that just went through more trauma to each other and caused more trauma to our family, but never really ended up together. I didn't think that. One day he'd live up to the promises that he'd made me. He'd see my value and be so in love with me that he'd treat me the way I deserve to be treated. But instead, I just gave him more control and opportunities to hurt me. His trust issues were never healed. He thought negatively about me and even my motives for trying to prove my innocence. See, when you refuse to see the red flags and protect yourself and your boundaries, it sends the message that they can push you further. I stayed until I was beyond depleted, and all the way up until the end, I believed that he would change. I thought he would see the pain that he caused me and he would regret it like he said he did when he said he was sorry but wasn't willing to put forth the effort to show he was sorry. And one day, he would stop doing those same things and putting us through the same cycles. But it wasn't until my baby and I was receiving no adequate, consistent support from this man. He'd arrogantly told me that he'd been lying to me for months about being with another woman and even wanted to hurt me further by putting her on the phone with me and talking sweet to her. But then called back and said that he was just upset and he didn't mean all that. Some of the things that he had said while they were on the phone were just lies. But after doing all of that, he also continued to treat me like he didn't care if I was in his life or not. After I'd invested money that I was supposed to purchase a home with and ended up in a homeless shelter with my baby, and him telling me that he knew he was wrong. He knew he had done so many things to hurt me, but that was what was keeping him away from me because he couldn't control his triggers and saying things to me and the way that he treated me. He said he couldn't guarantee that it wouldn't happen again because he knew that he needed some healing. But that one thing he requested from me was that I give him access to our baby, let him pick him up. And it didn't matter that the last time I let him pick up our baby, he kept him and told me he wasn't bringing him back. But he wanted me to trust him regardless, without reason to, without him showing me that he deserved to be trusted and allow him again. And he said that that would give him the security to start doing better. But until then, I couldn't expect anything from him, not finances, not money, not anything. And he certainly wouldn't treat me the way that he had promised to. So at that moment, I knew that he'd never treat us the way that we deserved. I knew that I was tired of making the sacrifices to earn the respect and love that should have just came with his promises and wanting to be with me. It was hard, but I had to have a big girl talk with myself. I had to face the reality that honestly, I'd rather do it alone than cry every day. All the effort that I was putting into keeping us together was required because he wasn't willing to reciprocate it and do his part. I had to face the fact that it was clear that I was staying, that my staying was going to cause me more damage and my children more damage than the chances ever turning out to be good. So I wanted to do the opposite of what he was doing and show that I was going to make wise decisions and use my discipline and not my emotions to protect myself. Yes, it was hard. It is hard. But it wasn't easy living with that constant feeling that I had to be on the defensive, that I had to walk on eggshells just to get nowhere. And people are looking up to me. I have children. I don't want to live a life where I couldn't do what I encourage other people to have the strength to do. Sure, I could have settled for being quiet, not standing up for what I deserved or what was right, but then I would also never be able to look forward to receiving it. Only in words, never action. If someone tells you that you need to prove yourself to them before they treat you with respect, give you trust, or give you the love that you deserve, if they think the worst of your motives and they're always questioning you, putting you on the defensive, and never being vulnerable to you, and they distance themselves whenever you try to talk about anything that they're doing to hurt you, and they turn it around and they blame you, you might be dealing with a narcissist. But you need to distance yourself regardless of if they're a narcissist or not. If they don't put forth the effort to fight for you with a changed perception proven by their patience and actions, they're playing with your heart, and it's up to you to protect it. But then that's just my take on things. Be a blessing so that you will be blessed.